let's see what it's all about.
5, enough is enough. That is Mayor John Whitmire's response to rumors spreading on social media that a serial killer is on the loose in Houston.
The rumors started flying after word spread that 5 bodies were pulled from local bayous in 5 days last week.
Katira Winfrey is live at HPD headquarters, where the mayor and the police chief try to put the rumors to rest. Katira.
5 bodies in 5 days. Now, I don't know if they've been there. They haven't told us much information about the state of the bodies, if they were decomposed or anything like that. But 5 bodies in 5 days. Hey, let's get into it.
Yeah, Lynn and Mia, the mayor and the police chief say the misinformation and speculation is stoking fear and anxiety unnecessarily, and says there is no clear evidence, and was clear there is no evidence of a serial killer. Now, those 5 bodies pulled from the bayous in the last week, he says, is just a unfortunate circumstance. Houston has 2,500 miles of bayous and waterways, and both reiterated there is no evidence to suggest that any of these deaths are connected. But the medical examiner will have to determine the causes of death. Of the 5 deaths in the last week, so far only 1 person has been identified, a University of Houston student who had been missing. A second person has also been identified, but they won't release that name until they are sure the family has been notified.
I do say enough's enough on speculation, out of respect for the families and also for 2.3 million Houstonians and our region. We have challenges. We're meeting those challenges. But a serial killer loose in Houston is not one of our challenges today. And I would hope.
And the mayor says there is a myriad of reasons people have been ending up in the bayou. He says some of them may be homeless, some of them may be experiencing mental health crises. But he says the timing of this set off an alarm, but again, reiterated, there is no evidence that a serial killer is on the loose in Houston.
Now, okay, that is completely understandable. That is completely understandable. There could be other reasons why multiple bodies, 5 bodies in 5 days was found in the Houston Bayou. But let's be honest now. Would they tell us if they were on the tracks of a serial killer? I've known different shows and different crime documentaries that they wouldn't want people to find out about it. They wouldn't want to set off the killer. We don't know. Like I said, this is just speculation. But a lot of bodies are turning up. Now, it could be coincidence. It could not be. Let's get into it. But let's get over into this next video about the most recent body that was found.
Well, this morning, we are following breaking news after a woman's body was found in Buffalo Bayou last night.
Yeah, now this comes, as you know, just days after.
So before we get into this comes days after. So this is 2 days after they did that press release where they was talking about there's not a serial killer. So let's get into it.
City leaders addressed the growing online rumors that a serial killer could be targeting people near the water. Our Jalissa Garza joining us live near the University of Houston downtown with what we know so far. Jalissa, makes it kind of tough to keep trying to shake those online rumors. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alona and Devon, absolutely. As you mentioned, this comes just days after the mayor and the Houston Police Department's chief bluntly said, no, there is no serial killer on the loose in Houston, and there's no evidence to back up that claim. But this discovery is the exact kind that is leading to the speculation and concern that we continue to see online. Now, we're just off the bayou near the University of Houston downtown. Houston police say that they got a call at around 11:30 o'clock last night, saying that there was a body found in the water near the intersection of Commerce and Milam. Now take a look at your screen. We do have some video of the scene. Police tell us people riding scooters is who spotted what looked like a body in the bayou. And that's when the call came in. When officers arrived, they called in the dive team who were able to recover a woman's body. There was a heavy police presence at the scene with several units responding, including homicide investigators. At this point, the woman's identity has not been released, and it's still unclear how she ended up in the water. Investigators did note there are several encampments in this area, and that is all still under investigation. Now, this makes the sixth body found in or near Houston bayous in the past 2 weeks. It's something we talked about earlier this week. And if you remember, we spoke to some women during our KHOU 11 Plus morning.
Hold on, let's pause it for a second. So let's look through all these. You got 916, you got White Oak Drive. 918, you got Jenny's. I'm not good with names, y'all know that drive. 925, you got 920, you got 915, and you got 950. So 2 of these were found in the same day. I mean, it could be a coincidence. It could be. So, but like I said, would they tell us if they were actually thinking a serial killer? I don't know.
Stream, who said after hearing from officials, they still were skeptical about the mayor and the police saying, no, there's no serial killer and there's no evidence. Now, only one person has been publicly identified when it comes to all of the bodies that have been found in or near Houston bayous. Now, that person was a University of Houston student who had been reported missing. Another was identified privately, but the name of that person hasn't been released. Now, police do say so far there is no evidence, no connection to those other cases. We know some of those are still under investigation. Now, coming up in the next hour, we'll hear from police who addressed all of these concerns that we continue seeing across social media. Again, we'll have that coming up in the next hour. For now, reporting live in downtown Houston, Jalissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
Jalissa, thank you. Well,
Now, so at this point right now, they're not confirming or they're not saying that they're denying that it's a serial killer. I mean, I don't know what to say. It could be a coincidence. Yes, it could be a coincidence, but at the end of the day, be careful. That is my main advice. Be careful. Don't go out at night walking alone. Just don't be alone. It sounds like you should not be alone out in Houston walking around at night. Now, they could be all homeless people who have, majority of them are homeless people who end up falling or drowning into the bayous. They haven't released any information of the cause of death on majority of them, or I think most of them. They haven't released any of the most recent ones. But we have to remember that the Houston bayou has been having bodies found, multiple bodies found throughout the years. So it's been a lot. I've just go back and watch that. The last video I did where it was from 6 years ago, it was talking about how 40 bodies were found in 3 years. I mean, could it be a hunting ground or could it be a dumping ground for a killer? It's possible. Or it could be a coincidence. They said it was like 2,500 miles of bayou that they have out there. Now, I might be stating it, but there's a lot of miles of bayou out there. So it could be a coincidence. It could be, but some people are getting scared. Some people are worried about what they're not telling us. People won't believe what the police say. But we'll keep up with this story and see if they actually release any more information about the cause of death of all these people. It's a tragic. In the end, it's tragic because most people have lost their lives. They said, I think they said 6 or 7 in the last 2 weeks. 5 and it's in general. It's a tragic situation. We got to pray for the families of all the victims. Hopefully, they're dealing with their grief well, but it's a scary world out here. It's a scary world out here. We don't know what's happening, and the people in Houston that the news people are talking to seem to be a little worried about it. But we had to bring that to our attention. Tell me your thoughts, y'all. Tell me your thoughts. Do you think there is a serial killer, or do you think it's just all a coincidence? Now, and do you think that they would tell us if there was if they were even thinking that there was a serial killer out there? But at the end of the day, please be careful. Go out if you're going out walking on these night trails. Please don't be alone, and be with somebody else. It's a tragic situation all about. Absolutely crazy, y'all. But all right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.